It must be Wednesday because, well, Jason and I are here.
Yep, we're back Wednesday, Rob, and we are Thrive with Rob and Jason. Welcome back,
Yep.
everybody. Great week it's been. We have a great show today for you. Can't wait to get with our guests. But Rob, a couple weeks here, these last couple weeks, we've had some really big sporting events that have been going on, right?
I've come to the conclusion that I probably there are a couple sports in the Olympics right now that I could still participate in. I have a feeling, just a gut thing here, Jason. There are a couple. There's 3-on-3 basketball. Of course, it's women's, but no, we're not going to go there. Just
Love it.
kidding. That was funny. But no, a lot of cool stuff going on. The sad thing is I have not watched any of the Olympics. Have you?
I've watched a little bit here and there. The opening ceremonies and things, and I know there's a lot of people that are kind of up in an uproar with that. But some events that I think I could still do if you want to get into that. You saw the shooting guy. He just walked up there, put his hand in his pocket, had no special glasses on, started shooting. I think I can do that. Probably not nearly that good, but I could do it.
He's an assassin. He's like,
yes.
Jason. My friend goes, "Holy cow, it's Jason Bourne." I was like, "Oh!" I watched the video and I'm like, "Unreal, unreal."
Yes.
That was super cool.
So I watched that. I watched some of the archery, and I'm like, I could do maybe that as well. And then in the Winter Olympics, when we have those curling, those guys look like they're just their dad's at home, just in the garage. They're throwing this together. I think we could do that, Rob. We got to get that sweeping motion in action, but I think we can do it.
The surprising thing, and of course, being from Minnesota and having family and stuff there, curling is actually pretty serious, and it actually is a lot harder than it looks.
Oh yeah.
But I could do the broom part completely. and my wife's gonna watch it. Why don't you do that at home then?
Oh, I'd love to see that. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Speaking of brooms, hey, you know what? You can get anything on Amazon, literally anything. And we get there's other stuff we could talk about the Olympics and stuff, and there are a few sports that I totally could get into, but I have to tell you, there's some cool merch, and you can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, and this
that's
link
out
here
there right now.
This link right down there is actually not our Amazon store. It's how you can actually have your own Amazon store. As we talk about thriving, you can have an extra business income. You can have your extra side hustles and how you do this. And actually, there's a lot of people that do this full time. As you see, Amazon's not going away anytime soon, but that link below will show you different ways that you can do that. And you can jump on a call with our team to figure out how you can have your own Amazon store and make your own income. So check that out. It's really, really cool.
Have you gotten into this whole where they take a picture now when they deliver stuff at your house?
Oh yeah, well, my phone rings and my notifications go off constantly. Like you said a few weeks ago, the Amazon guy knows us by name. Okay,
he knows this. But the creepy part is, like, I go, "Ooh, I need to sweep my front stoop," because he'll take a picture. I think he does it on purpose. He's like, "Dude, you got dirt up here. We need to get." So I'm like, immediately I go, "Oh shoot, gotta do that." But no, this is a time definitely that we live in that there are opportunities. Not only, we're not saying quit your job that you currently have, but this is great time. And I think the era of side hustles has really, this is it. When we look back in life, when they write history about economics and stuff, this will be the era of the side hustle. Totally. That is my thing. So check out the link. Jason can help you out there. I only buy on Amazon. I have no idea what anything else.
Yeah. Well, here in a couple weeks, Rob, we're actually going to have the gentleman that got and goes through this. We'll have him as a guest on the show to talk about this stuff. So I can't wait for that. But, today's guest, I've got to know very well in the last probably, I don't know, about 6 months to a year. She really got to my heartstrings because she's an ex-chef. And as you know, me and you, we love our food, right? We're big guys. We love our food. And she's just an incredible individual. We've got to know each other and become best friends. I talk with her on a weekly basis, multiple times, usually during the week. Sheila Jones, let's bring on the show. Love you, Sheila. And I can't wait to get into everything that you're doing with Wicked Results, the way that you coach and you guide. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Well, thank you very much. And I love that you love food, right? Like I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
So a little bit about myself. I'm a CEO of a company called Wicked Results, and we're all about coaching, speaking, training, and bringing the utmost potential out of every person that we actually interact with. But my journey can be summarized like this. I was a chef in the restaurant business for quite a few years, and then I had a desire to do more and to be more. So seeking a college education, and then eventually I was a application chef for Nestle's, and then into Campbell Soup Company, where I was a product developer and brand management for about 10 years, just about 10 years. And then I went to corporate Walmart in Bentonville, Arkansas, and I took over the consumables and health and wellness division, spreading my wings in areas that I was completely, it wasn't food. Not all of it was food in the consumables and health and wellness space, but man, the fundamental science, no matter where you go, it transcends. And then I came up here to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I ran a mid-sized food company. And then today I own my own company. So happy to be on and excited for the opportunity to interact with you all today.
I really appreciate Sheila for you being on. One really cool aspect of this, I'm just kind of thinking about this with our audience. It's very vast and it's very large. You have had a say in some things that have been in probably every one of their households. How cool is that? That is, whether it's Nestle, whether it's Campbell's, whether it's Walmart, they've had something that you've helped get on the shelves be in their house. That just kind of hit me.
That's true. And when I was younger and I was a chef in a small restaurant in Annapolis, Maryland, a small but impactful restaurant, we were only impacting just a small amount of people. And I remember my first day at Campbell Soup in the manufacturing plant when I realized that we can make like 1 million cans a day. All I thought was, oh my gosh, I hope this formula is right, because that's going to be pretty expensive if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yes, when I tell people open up your cabinet, your cupboard, whatever that is, you probably got something in there that I was directly or indirectly connected to. If you take a ibuprofen, I was probably connected to that. If you buy children's diapers, I was probably connected to that, as well as the food products that you're eating on a pretty much consistent basis. So yes, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, one thing that in our discussions that we've had, really really cool thing is you were kind of the one that everybody pitched products to get on the shelves. Like when you went over to Walmart, that is, we talk about Shark Tank and different things like this. You were the first version of that.
I had a moment of aha a couple of weeks ago, because I realized that myself. Like I wasn't really thinking about that through this journey, but I was helping the United Negro College Fund, the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And as I was preparing, I was thinking to myself, wow, what has this journey been like? And truth be told, when I was a chef, I was pitching to the servers, hey, sell this item, right? Communicate this to a customer. Then when I became an application chef, I was pitching to CPG companies from a formulation standpoint. And then at Campbell Soup, I was making things for the salespeople to pitch. And then at Walmart, people were pitching to me, right? And so I was like, oh, wait a minute. I know all sides of this, right? And then walking into the position in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I was pitching on one side and catching on the other side, right? So it's like I feel like and the crazy part about it is one of the people that I've coached, he actually is a bullpen catcher for one of the professional sports teams. And we always talk about the analogy of being a pitcher and a catcher, right? So it's like,
yeah.
Been going on for a while.
What is the one thing that you were like the best thing that you created, whether it was Nestle, Campbell's, anything as a chef? Like, what was your favorite recipe that you created for everybody?
Oh my gosh! So
throwing you on the spot.
I'm gonna rewind it back, and I'm gonna talk about something as a chef. One of the reasons was it was a very special occasion, right? But I made this stuffed veal chop with smoked blue crab and roasted peppers, with an Asian based on this veal chop. And the reason I'm saying this is because sometimes when you walk in a restaurant, you think the chef is just making this product for you, but actually they've been making it for days, right?
Oh yeah.
And that veal chop dish, I was serving to some friends of mine to thank them for some things that they had been helping me with. It took me almost 2 weeks because I made the stock and then I got the wood and I smoked I soaked the wood and I smoked everything. Then I had to put it together. So it was days of prep work before we actually had the meal. And the great part about it was so funny is I had this great dish, and then the air conditioning broke in my friend's house and they were really upset. And I was like, don't worry about it. We're good.
I know Rob's in the green room here. He's I can see him drooling back here. Well, hey, let's move off of food. So let's get to Wicked Results. What inspired you to start Wicked Results, and what is Wicked Results?
Oh, I appreciate you asking that question. So, I stood back in probably 2018 and I said to myself, man, what an amazing career I've had. And in that process, I started thinking about what is the amazing future that I want, and how do I want to live the rest of my life? Mm-hmm. And some people were saying, hey, just retire, right? Just retire. And I thought to myself, I don't think I ever want to retire. I just am not the retiring type. And so I started thinking about what I can do, how I want to impact, and what is the legacy that I want to leave. And so once I started to have those conversations with myself, it became an opportunity for me to explore different things. So I started receiving training and getting certified in different types of behavioral analysis things. And I started to kind of formulate what I really wanted to do in the future. Mm-hmm. So over time, I built Wicked Results. And I picked this name and I picked the spelling of this. It's got the H in it because the H is all about helping people, right? Mm-hmm. Helping people realize their potential, overcome different obstacles that they have in their lives. I really want people to maximize their incredible potential and deliver impact to whatever they're doing, whether it's their family, whether it's their job, their community. So with that, that's a little bit about Wicked Results, but a coaching, speaking, and training. I coach individuals and I coach businesses. I speak on a wide variety of topics, not only the food business, but inspirational, legacy type stuff. And in the training space, I'm focused on training. A lot of it is in the education space. So I work with schools and I work with administrators and principals, superintendents, and colleges, universities, anyone that's in those spaces that is trying to move themselves forward. That's what I'm focused on.
Yeah, one really cool thing that just happened about, I guess it was a couple months ago or maybe a month ago or whatever, as we were talking, you talk to large universities, you've been the heads of very big companies, but one really cool thing that brought it kind of down to earth was how focused you were in doing your speech for a kindergarten class, right?
Oh yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah, let me kind of share that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a keynote speaker, right? I've spoken in large audiences on wide variety of topics, but because I'm in the education field, I think it's important to be an active educator. So I'm a substitute teacher for a company called Owl Hill Learning Academy. It is an amazing organization based here in the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area. And I had been teaching with them for probably about 6 months, rotating substitute teacher across 4 school districts. And coming in, I got one over. The kids, they stole my heart, right? So they're starting to graduate, and I'm thinking, I'm going to be so sad that I'm not going to see them next year. So I reached out to Ashley, who's the owner of Owl Hill Learning Academy, and I asked her if I could be the pre-K graduation speaker. So I spent so much time writing this speech, and ultimately, my media team put it into a book for me, which was awesome. It's called Wiggly, Jiggly, Squiggly, and Grow. And it has to do with these kids, they come in the beginning of the school year, and then they go out. They know how to spell and read, and, they know all their colors, and they know their social emotional behaviors. And yes, it was an amazing couple of days. I was fortunate to be speaking in a couple of different school districts connected to that. So it was just awesome. I had a great time.
I loved that. When we were talking about that and going through it, just seeing where your heart is, especially when we go to the faith side of it and everything else, it's just incredible. And that's, we've grown a great friendship.
Yes.
So when you were talking, let's get into some projects that you have going on, because you have some really cool ones with the green pepper projects and some different things. So tell me about some projects that you're currently working on.
Oh, awesome. Yes. So I am the owner operator of the Green Pepper Project. I mean, I'm a chef, right? So I got to have a project that's connected to food. But the reality of it was that I've been thinking for a long time about this personal development, this passion. And I decided that I was going to pursue this very intentionally. But I kept struggling with what it was going to be and the naming convention that I wanted and the impact that I wanted. And of course, one day here I was in my kitchen making fajitas. I cut into this green pepper, and the next thing you know, it hit me. There's 153 seeds in a green pepper. And some of those are planted today. Some of those are not good seeds and they need to go in the trash can. And some of those are seeds that could be planted in the future. But you need to have the right soil, the right environment, the right combination of sunlight and water to be successful in this space. And it just was a perfect analogy of what it looks like to grow yourself, what it looks like to be in the space of growing yourself. Because if you look at yourself, some seeds need to be planted, right? And then some seeds may need to be discarded, or they need to be trashed, but others might need to be planted in the future. So yes, I have been on a circuit of speaking and teaching and training the Green Pepper Project. And what I love about it is the spans. I can talk at a keynote about adult personal growth and development, and I can go all the way down to young little kids. And I gave an amazing presentation at the Children's Museum in Monroe, Louisiana a couple of weeks ago. And I did social emotional behavior with the Green Pepper Project, and we had an absolute blast running around talking about all the different emotions. So yes, that's one project, right? And then, yeah, I'm a busy person, which is awesome.
Yes.
And then because I've spent a lot of years in corporate America, I've been a big fan of job coaching. And so I've taught about 18,000 people how to get jobs, added millions of dollars connected to the bottom line income. And then my media team and my editors, specifically Patty Stevens, she was like, hey, you need to put this in a book. So I wrote this book, Wicked Interview Tips, and I've been out teaching the content of this book. It has been awesome. All the way from junior high school, all the way up to CEOs. That book can teach and train and give insights to anyone that's looking for a job. So I do those programs, particularly in workforce development spaces, junior high, high school, college, and universities, and then obviously individuals. So that's number 2, right? Like, and if I'm not,
but I gotta ask something. I gotta ask something, Sheila, because this is kind of interesting to me about this, because we're talking about a time right now where there are a lot of jobs out there. What is the one tip for somebody that's maybe looking and going in for the interview process? Give them one tip that they need to think about before they go into that interview.
Oh, that's a great question. I appreciate it. What I have learned through this process is a lot of people, they look for the job title and then they look at the skills that are necessary for the job. They don't exactly read the job description and think about what that job looks like on the day-to-day basis when they go into a company. So I'll give you a quick example. I had a person that was looking for an opportunity, and they were considering doing some nonprofit work, specifically in the space of seeking donations. And they were like, oh yeah, I like this. The job description says I need to, use Microsoft Office and I need to be able to strategize. And I'm like, yeah, these are great. Do you realize that you are going to have to be the one that goes out in the community and asks people for money?
Yeah.
And they were like, whoa, I can't do that. And I was like, yes, please don't apply if you do not think you can actually do this job. So you've got the skills to do it, but do you have the ability to do it? And what does that job look like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
And do you align to the mission and content of the company? Those are the key things that I would say today, because I hear people all the time, oh, I submitted, hundreds of resumes. Find the company that meets your passion and your skill set, and then design yourself to be able to get that job opportunity.
Yeah, take the extra effort to really put it in for that specific that specific company or that specific job, where people right now they'll build a resume and they just blast that out to everybody. Well, that's not necessarily what you want or who you're going. It's kind of a shotgun blast. Let's use that sniper kind of approach, right?
Right.
When it comes to Wicked Results, who would be perfect for coming to check out Wicked Results? Who do you want to be in front of you with Wicked Results? And Rob, if you can throw that QR code one more time on the screen.
Yeah. So from a who would I serve and who's best to interact with?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to this entire space and place, the hierarchy would be people or organizations that are interested in growing themselves and developing themselves. So the specifics of it would be connected to Wicked Interview Tips in particular. It's like workforce development. It's cities or states that are looking to really increase their employability potential. Then when it comes to universities and colleges, it really is on the student piece. And then when it comes to junior high schools and high schools, again, the student pieces. But then I have a lot of individuals who are interested in trying to move themselves forward. So when that kind of hits that space, the Green Pepper Project is very universal and allows for organizations that are looking to spur excitement around personal growth and development, and to wake people back up to taking control and action steps in their personal development. I had an organization reach out to me, and they are saying that they hired me because what they're saying is their industry is not providing personal growth and development. And I was saying, well, that's a sign to me that they're transferring the ownership of personal growth and development, professional growth and development from their company to you. So you have got to learn how to personally grow and develop yourself. And the Green Pepper Project is one of those that fits very squarely into that spot. That's
really cool. So, we are a faith-based network with Thrive and everything else that we do. How does faith intertwine with all of this?
So that's interesting. And I have no problem saying all this, right? I have been through a journey these past few years. It's been a lot of hurdles. And at times I've had some questions.
Yes.
I've had some questions.
We all have, yeah.
like, wait a minute, right? Like, is this really part of the journey? But
yes.
I reestablished my faith again a couple of years ago. And I've been seeking counsel from a variety of pastors in a few different areas. And at night, I go to bed now and I just say to myself, I'm not so sure this day has gone like it could have. I got to do better for everything. I'm willing to talk about what has gone wrong and ask for forgiveness when I go to bed at night, and then hope when I wake up the next morning that I got a fresh head and a fresh start, right?
Love it.
I was just talking to one of our mutual friends, Jay Lee, this morning, and I said to him, the beginning of this week needs to just go in the dumpster, and I just need to start over. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
Today's Wednesday.
Which actually, Jay Lee will be our guest next week, so I can't wait for that as well. He's a mutual friend that we have, and can't wait to talk with him. But I know we've talked faith, a lot of business aspects and everything else that we talk on a weekly basis. We have our set week that we talk about to help each other out and grow each other's businesses and lives, and just that faith side of it. Some advice that you might have for entrepreneurs as they're really getting ready to start their business. There may be maybe some transitional pieces. What would be a big thing if you're doing a keynote, speaking arrangement for a group of entrepreneurs? What is the topic?
Yeah, so I always ask people, were you employed at a company or corporation before? And if the answer is yes, I go one direction. If the answer is no, I go a different direction. But let's say they have been working in a corporation. When you become an entrepreneur, all of a sudden you realize there's a lot to do, right? There's a lot to do. And it's your job to do it. It's your job to do it. The bottom line is, if you don't do it, your company's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You have got to be very committed to what you're doing, but you also need to be able to take the hills and the valleys. There's hills and valleys in your corporate jobs that you may have observed and felt, but there was always people around you to help solve those problems or spitball with or have conversation with. So as an entrepreneur, if you really want to go forward and you really want to go far, don't sit in isolation. Like, don't be paralyzed by the things that makes or takes your breath away. Go find someone to talk it over with. Go find someone to unlock yourself. If you're stuck, go find someone to help you, because that's what you did in your corporate job, right? You had a bad day. You walked down the hallway. You said to your friend, "Hey, you got 5 minutes?" And you went in there and you started talking to them, right? You got to do the same thing when you're an entrepreneur, because otherwise you'll just sit paralyzed.
That's the truth. You gotta be around other entrepreneurs. Like, still, it can be isolating as an entrepreneur, but you need to get into those groups. You need to have these conversations. You know, that's one way that me and you have started our relationship, is being able to discuss these things openly with each other, knowing that we're here to lift each other up. And I think that faith side of it is incredible in that, because we're not in competition with all each other. We're here to help each other grow the kingdom, build our businesses together, and know that our heart is in the right place. And I know your heart is in the right place in many of our discussions. But Rob, what do you think, Sheila?
I love Sheila. And Sheila, before we go, and thank you so much for being with us today. I always love to ask this, because I have a lot of chefs who are friends. What is your go-to comfort food for yourself that you like to make?
Oh my God.
Oh, I like this question.
This is I laugh about it, because if I don't feel well, like if I have a cold or something, I eat fried chicken. I crave fried chicken, right? And I crave it, like, and it's like fried chicken from anywhere, like the gas station fried chicken or the grocery store fried chicken. It's not even like my fried chicken that I cook myself. It's like any fried chicken will do it, right?
Oh,
but then when it comes to what do I really like, I say this a lot. I date broccoli, meaning I go to the grocery store, I buy it, I put it in the refrigerator, I see it in there, but I opt for a candy bar instead. Like, that dating broccoli thing has been a joke for a long time, but I'm getting better at buying it and eating it, converting it to actual eating it, which I love broccoli. It's just been a funny little thing about dating broccoli. But in the end, I love fish. Fish is my favorite. Red snapper particularly is one of my favorites. Grouper is another. I was really very focused on fish and fish sauces when I was a chef. So, so that's a little bit about the food choices, right?
See, Rob, she's speaking our language when we talk about candy bars instead of broccoli.
Exactly. Yes. Always. Thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate you so much. And I'm going to give the website, just, you can click on that link right there and go check out all the cool stuff she has going on. I mean, it is incredible. And I've been over here pumped. I'm like, I want to go get a job, even though I've got one. Thank you so much, Sheila.
Thanks, Sheila.
Hey, listen, buddy, appreciate you. This has been fun. Another great week.
Yes. Yeah, it's another week down, and Sheila was one that we've been trying to get on the show for a while. She's a very busy lady, speaking all of her engagements. And we love to talk about food and just everything that she has. Man, today was fun.
It was another busy, great edition of the show. Hey, listen, we'd love for you to reach out to us. Tell us what you're thinking. Maybe you've got a prayer request or anything like that, or just talk about your business. Jason and I would love to hear from you. Head to our website, abundanttv.com. You can hit the link for Connect, and we would love to talk to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the end of another Thrive. Go out and have an amazing week. We'll see you.